going to move them. Yes, I'm going to move them. Oh, right. Smiley and Vinegar are telling us we're a little out of sorts because we had the assembly this morning. So our target for right now says, I will research Egyptian clothing and royalty so that I can understand the Egyptian Cinderella. So who can tell me what we've been doing in our Cinderella unit? Paul.
We've been comparing the traditional Cinderella to other Cinderellas around the world, and before we can read the ones that are from around the world, we have to know about a little bit about that place. So that's what we're doing, like about Egypt.
Good, Paul. So why do you think it's important to know about a place before you read a story that's set in that place? So you understand it? Okay, let's hear from some other people. Lily?
So we know what's really happening.
Okay, so it helps you to know what's happening in the story. Mateo?
You know that things in the story, like you know what things in the story are.
Yeah, there are some things in this story that we're not going to know. I mean, Juliana might know because she loves Egypt so much.
I know about Egypt since my mother teaches me Egypt, but I don't know the language yet.
Oh, okay. So
Because I was born here. Is it
right.
delicious?
Juliana is an expert when it comes to Egypt, but we're not experts. So when we read this, we want to have a little background information so that we can understand the story, right? So before we do our little research, we need to figure out where Egypt is. All right, let's look at some other stuff in Egypt. Now, why do we want to look up some stuff in Egypt before we read this story? Lily?
So we know what it is.
What do you mean?
So we know what some of the stuff is that we don't know about.
Can you expand on your thinking?
Like, we might not know something in the book.
Yeah, so something, since it's in Egypt, we might not know some of these things, right? So if we research them before, will that help us to better understand the story? Yeah, so let's look at some of these things. Here, who can read our title? The Egyptian Cinderella. We're going to think about some of those things that we learned today so that we can better understand the story. So what were 3 things that we learned today that are going to be important in our story tomorrow? These are the things we're going to think about tomorrow when we're reading the Egyptian Cinderella. Why was it important for us to research Egypt today? Lily?
Because we are going to see the book tomorrow, and we have to know what it's going to be about.
Okay, so because we're reading it tomorrow, so we're sort of prepping ourselves. All right, Toby, what do you think? Why is it important that we did this research?
So we know what they do in Egypt.
Why is that important, though?
So we know why they're doing it.
You can add on to Toby's thoughts. Paul?
They're doing something, and we think it's a little weird. We won't think it's weird if we don't do this. We won't think it's weird if we don't do this.
Right, so if there's something that we had never heard of before in this story, instead of tomorrow being like, huh? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Now we have this background information that's going to help us to understand the story more. Okay?
You can also try out the foods from you know what, because my mother.
All right, so thank you. We are going to pack up now.